Hey there, welcome back to the Smell of Logic channel. I am Ramona, and today's little Reddit stories are going to be appropriately about pranks because it is April Fool's, April's 1st. I don't know how many of you celebrate that or actually partake in it, but here we go. We're just going to jump into these. These are supposed to be, what are the best harmless pranks you can pull? Maybe give you ideas, or you'll, say, hey, I did that once. But here we go. Ready? The burning bag of shit on the doorstep is a classic. Ah, yes, most common trick in the book. Your own doorstep or someone else's? Just gauging the harmlessness. Yeah, I've never done that. Never wanted to. It disturbs me, actually, but okay. Good old short sheeting someone's bed. And they're like, huh? Take the bedspread off the bed. Pull the bottom of the top sheet where it's tucked under the mattress to the foot of the bed, up to the head of the bed, folding the top sheet in half, and then tuck it as if you're making the bed normally. Replace the bedspread. When they go to bed, they won't be able to put their feet all the way into the bed. That's what that is. See, I never know, but that's mean, but it is harmless. I mean, it's kind of frustrating, but that's about all it is. Let's see. Next one. Filling a room, backpack, whatever, with a lot of the same object, usually something small and weird. For example, I read a story of students who did their senior prank to their principal by having everyone shake his hand and hand him a small plastic camel. So by the time they were done, the guy just had a lot of plastic camels. Similarly, we've also read a story of someone filling a room with a lot of rubber ducks. I've heard the rubber duck one. That actually happened in my one of my niece's high schools. When they graduated, they did that to the principal or the superintendent. I don't remember. Whenever I'm asked what someone's name is, I purposely give them the wrong name. Well, so it's pretty harmless as long as it's not anything important. Whenever I'm asked what's... Oh, oops. They just double posted. Oh, no. Playing out loud me moans in the middle of the night. Okay. I don't want to go there. Covering up the laser on the underside of someone's mouse. Oh, that one's a good one. I like that one. That one's funny. I don't have a specific prank, but rather a rule for all pranks. It's only a prank if both parties are laughing afterwards. For example, if someone asks you to take their photo, start taking photos immediately and make sure you get some good shots. Then when it's time for the posted shot, take one with everybody's head cut off. They will initially be startled, but then you can show the 20 other candid photos, and it'll all be well. Childproof everything you can in someone's house while they're out. The drawers, the outlets, the cabinets, overdials, everything. That's pretty funny. When I was at university, two girls got into an escalatingly huge competition about how to annoy each other. They were actually friends, but they had some weird anarchic spirit in them, and they just led to general carnage. It concluded with one of them went into the other's room and turned literally everything in it upside down. Then it turned out that the other had been collecting newspapers for about 6 months for a specific purpose of also going into their rival's room and filling it several feet deep with scrunched up papers. Then that is when she did this. At this point, the university was just like, okay, that's enough now, and ordered them to stop. I'd call it a draw. Move everything on the desk, except the stapler, 1 inch to the right. When they walk in, they'll think their stapler has been moved 1 inch to the left. When you have a group of people over and two that don't know each other, tell them separately that the other one is hard of hearing and that you have to speak loud when talking to them. You end up with like 2 of them yelling at each other all night. Seen this on YouTube a lot, but pretending to have an extremely weird concerning phone call in public and watch people's reactions. I've done that many times. Yeah, kind of fun, honestly. My family has a portrait of an ancestor of ours that was painted by a fairly famous painter, hanging up in their dining room. So I found an electric copy of the painting online and did some quick photoshopping to switch his face with my own. I got the edited painting printed at Staples and replaced the original one night. Then I just sat back and waited until someone noticed. Tell someone that someone else has Alzheimer's. That's just awful. That's not really harmless, actually. Leave messages on someone's desk saying, call E. Funt throughout March. On April 1st, give him the number to the local zoo and tell them to have them ask for Ella and make sure you include her last name since there are 3 Funts that work there. Stealing all the batteries and the left shoe. Switching the M and the N keys on the keyboard. Subtle enough it's not noticeable, but irritable enough to make someone angry. Wearing birthday gear on April Fool's Day and telling everyone gotcha when they say happy birthday. Oh, this one's bad. Putting ketchup packets under a toilet seat. Trap your roommate inside the room by planting an M18 Claymore right outside their room. See, some of these are not quite as harmless as we were hoping for. A guy pissed me off once so much, I made a gay personal ad and linked his phone number. Wow. I think it's almost illegal now. I think you can't do stuff like that. That would be harassment. But yeah, this is also a bit of parking lot justice, and you need a roll of duct tape. If you see someone parking their car in a handicap spot without a placard or sloppily parking across multiple parking spots, slap a length of duct tape across their door handle. If you want, write a note on it with permanent marker asking them to park better. Be sure to wipe off your fingerprints in case you have an overzealous police force. Write a note that says out of order and stick it to the public bathroom door. One time on April Fool's Day after gym class, all the guys in my class put our actual shorts over our gym shorts, and then we went back to class. We all pulled our shorts down in front of the rest of the class. Invite a friend that's never been to your house over and give him the address of your neighbor across the street. I'm 6 feet tall, and sometimes when people ask me how tall I am, I say 5'10", so that the people who say they are 6 feet, get called out for adding 2 extra inches. If you live together with someone, sew up the sleeve hems and watch them struggle trying to put the shirt on. When a friend is about to drive away, quickly go up to them, talk to them, and secretly put an empty Starbucks or equivalent coffee cup on the top of their car with a strong earth magnet in it to keep it stuck to the car. When they drive around, people will likely honk their horns, point and laugh, and even get out of their vehicle to retrieve the coffee cup for the friend while at a traffic light. Download a new text app and text your friend a new cat fact every hour on the hour from the unidentifiable number. Okay, that one's... You could do it even with your identifiable number. That would be hilarious. Rearrange everything that isn't nailed down. Make a bowl of cereal and put it in the freezer overnight, with the spoon submerged in the milk. Offer the person breakfast in bed and laugh at them as the entire bowl lifts up with the spoon. See, some of these are kind of good. They're simple and funny. This is what we need. Put a walkie-talkie underneath someone's bed, and at 4 a.m. you scream into the walkie-talkie. Okay, I'm not going to say that I've ever done anything kind of like that. It was a baby monitor, but, Planting all different types of tree seeds in your neighbor's garden. Oh, man. Switch around the F and the G key. We're lucky enough to have the double sink situation in our bathroom, so I get on my side and my significant other has theirs. I had significantly more on my side. One day, I left one of my magic skin concoctions in the middle of the counter and noticed he moved it to his side, even though it was clearly mine. Tried it the next day, and he did it again. So, of course, I decided to see how far I could take this. Every day, I would take one of my items and put it closer to his side, and every day he would pull it all the way to his side to tidy up. I eventually got all of my items on his side, including the coup de grace, the extra-large hairspray bottle. But then he caught me in the bathroom giggling. I looked at all my stuff on his side, and he was like, "What is all this doing here?" It was oddly satisfying while it lasted. I play Minecraft, and my sister and I pulled harmless pranks on my dad in our family realm. It took all of his items out of his chest and placed a bunch of chests floating above his house, just high enough that he couldn't reach them by jumping. Then we filled each chest with exactly one item in an inventory slot. No slacking at all. We placed blocks above each of the chests so that he couldn't just build up and open them. We couldn't contain our laughter when he logged on and saw it. It took about an hour, but it was so worth it. Leave many plastic flamingos in their yards. Bonus, if it's an HOA type of neighborhood. I think there's a prank company that actually does this for you for a fee. It provides the plastic flamingos. Text a friend, ETA? Or, even worse, I'm 5 minutes out. Where are you? I'm pregnant. So I occasionally like to surprise my husband with I'm pregnant jokes, like finding a bun in the oven. Switch the USB mouse in a computer lab. If you're unplugging a device and put simple scotch tape over one prong, then plug it back in, it prevents the electrical connection and they will go over everything trying to figure it out. I have done it to people at work a few times when I was a tech support, just so I could have something to do, just to make it sure you fix it for them. And someone says, you sound really good at staying employed and valued. Instead of making carameled apples, make carameled onions. Pass them out as treats. Around here, you can go to stores and get their old bread. The amount of waste is ridiculous. You gotta sweet talk them though, but it works. And then get dozens of loaves of bread and fill a buddy's car full of bread at school. Like took them out of the bags and stuffed his car full of bread. My favorite prank to date. That's a lot of work. And that's a lot of cleanup. Take a screenshot of your desktop. Turn it upside down, then use it as wallpaper. Then actually turn this computer screen upside down. Don't forget to hide the taskbar and remove all the desktop shortcuts. Get a cheap wireless mouse and plug the dongle into your rear USB port of a coworker's desk or computer. Give the mouse an occasional jiggle when you're bored and need some amusement. For even more fun, flick the mouse gently whenever you try to open the icon. Just make sure to do it sporadically. Let them go weeks thinking the problem is fixed before starting it all over again. Or, if your desks are together and they face each other, you can plug in a wired mouse, put the mouse on the floor, and nudge it with your foot at the same time. You dropped your pocket. My boss loves this one. That says, your socks are untied. Before my wife and I started dating, I put googly eyes on everything in her fridge. Yeah. Buy fake cockroaches. My father and I have a 2-year-long war of placing them where the other one will find them and trying to startle each other. Oh, I've done that. I do that with my boss currently. He hates spiders, so there's always a spider war on April Fools. Not me, but my dad is doing the disappearing prank. Oh, for 12 years. Whoops, that took a turn I wasn't ready for. The old ridiculous magazine subscription prank. It's not a free prank, but it is worth it. Bid on something at a silent auction and write down your best friend's name and phone number. Replace a picture. Cater the picture to whomever the victim is. Afraid of spiders? If you put it in the hallway or somewhere more out of the way, it may take a while until they catch on. But add a nice note and date on the back. For April Fools, I made my daughter the world's tiniest breakfast. I made a pancake the size of a dime, oatmeal served in a Barbie bowl, and a cup of juice from a tiny Barbie cup. I thought it was funny, at least. One time, I put little pieces of masking tape over the optics of everyone's mouths in the office right before the April Fool's. See, I'm going to try this. We only have a few mouses at my work, but that might be something I have to do. Changing the N and the N. Okay. When you walk behind someone, yell hot, then touch them on the arm with a popsicle. Try hard-boil their eggs and put them back in the box secretly. See, that one's kind of fun too. I plugged a small USB mouse plug into a coworker's computer, and then from another cubicle would move their mouse while they were on their computer, and they started to think their computer was going crazy. I have placed 9 lollipops in various places of a colleague's cubicle and numbered them 1 through 10, obviously skipping a number. Drives them crazy not being able to find the last one. Oh, that's awesome. That's pretty awesome. A whoopee cushion. Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned fart humor? Put a note under their windshield wiper apologizing for hitting their car and leave a phone number to something inappropriate. They will spend 20 minutes inspecting every inch of their car. I know from experience. Yeah, I did that too. I've done that. Not the inappropriate number, but yeah. I would put I did this. Well, there's more. Put fake cockroaches in various places around my house for my mom. Make a wallpaper slide of a broken laptop screen and say to the owner, oh crap, I broke it. See what happens then. Red chalkline powder in the work gloves is always a favorite of mine. I've also wanted to hide a speaker behind some drywall when doing renovations and then make it play Jumanji drums at 3 a.m. I say something false and immediately follow it up with, not. Hide a picture of yourself behind every cabinet door, even the furniture doors. Replace your picture in some of the framed pictures. Put your picture behind the medicine cabinet door, closet doors, just anywhere like that. Under the dining room table is good. Then the sun visor in a car. Took my sister 6 months to get everyone left I had left for her. They still laugh about it. Rearrange all the apps in their phone. Oh, that's a good one. That one might have to be pulled on my son or my husband. I'm just saying. Put yellow food coloring in the toilet so they think something is wrong when the toilet is flushing. Raise a small child. Oh, no, I'm not going to. Raise a small child thinking that giraffes are an imaginary species like unicorns and mermaids. Then take them to the zoo years later. I tried to get my sister to do this, but she wasn't down. Oh my god. That's mean, but that's hilarious. I think that's my favorite one so far. I had a friend who in elementary school would duplicate that screen at the end of PowerPoints. You know, the black one that says slideshow ended, click to exit. Yeah, that one. She'd meticulously get the font and size and location just right and add an extra 10 or so slides. So when the teacher went through the slides at her presentation at the class, and then the teacher tried to click exit, it did not exit. She thought it was broken, and my friend and I just about died laughing. My brother has a Roku device that still was connected to YouTube when I used it. One day I connected to it and started to play his least favorite YouTube video. Now let's just say I couldn't get up because I was laughing really hard. It's only harmful if you don't explain what happened and don't fix it. See, what I intend to do this time is I'm going to go into my husband's and my son's YouTube and subscribe to a bunch of things they wouldn't normally like, bronies and Yo Gabba Gabba or Peppa Pig or the Royals on Ice or, something, and just flood their algorithms with really useless videos that they won't like, because we're always teasing each other. That happens, that, you accidentally get on somebody else's account, because we have a shared account and our shared family. And we like to fuck with each other's algorithms. I really intend to do that this time. Just blast it if I can. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a really fun time. We have a smart TV in my house, and I once connected my phone to it while my parents were watching something and played the 10-hour version of Baby Shark. I then proceeded to pull the blame on my brother because I'm not technologically advanced enough to pull off such a prank. My husband connected his wireless mouse. Oh, again, apparently it's a very common thing. Ooh, put their stapler in Jell-O. That's a new one. Put a large zucchini in somebody's mailbox. Someone did this to me years ago. I never found out who, and I still think about this all the time. I thought about fuseless firecrackers in New Mexico last year and still have literally 25,000 of them left, and they're fucking insane, and they sound like a legit 22 going off. But I want to put them under the toilet of my wife's bathroom, but I'm afraid I'll break the toilet. My brother has been replacing family photos with pictures of Steve Buscemi, and my mom hasn't noticed. Oh my gosh. Change a few words often used in texting in the prankie's phone to something else, probably to potato, or, for example, sit back and watch the frustration build. Have done it, and it works well. Saw one in high school. Kids would take other kids' backpack, take the contents out, turn the backpack inside out, put the contents back in the backpack, and then finally zip it up and zip tie the zippers together, trapping everything inside. This works well for JanSport backpacks. Put a giant ice bath sponge in lard. Bring it to whoever is pranking and tell them you've made them a sponge cake, and and you'd like them to try a bit. When they try to cut it, it won't work. Post an ad in their local Craigslist with the title, 2 free goats, Hablos Español, and list their phone number. Works pretty well as a prank war with my friend. He doesn't even live in a rural area. He got dozens of texts and calls. Guess people want free goats. Putting those Pop-Its under the toilet seat ever so delicately to when they pop when someone sits down. On April Fool's, ask if they paid the cell phone bill. Casually mention that they're turning it off, then hang up. Got all you guys beat. My friends and I were drunk last weekend and thought it was the funniest prank ever in our stupor. In practice, it was. Out with friends, one of you goes up to the other table, to another table, and says to the other group, "Thanks for coming in tonight. Where are you guys from? How's everything tasting?" "Great. Glad to hear it. You're most welcome back here anytime." Tell a friend that the word gullible is the only commonly used English word that isn't in the dictionary yet. I like to take out the garbage, so when my mom asks my dad to, he looks like a fool when he's trying to take it out. I used to take spoons from the cafeteria and slip them into people's pockets throughout the day. I once got 5 in the same pocket. And for the last one, this isn't quite harmless, but it is pretty funny if you know the person. Text a random number. Well, you couldn't text a random number. Are you the little F that got my daughter pregnant? And then see their reaction. So you could do that with like people you know, and then it would cause a huge scandal, and it would be hilarious. Ask for a hug and then back away from the hug as it's happening. That's something I would do because people know I don't do hugs. Anyway, there are some harmless pranks. Well, maybe not so harmless, some of them. But I hope you have enjoyed this. Hope your April Fool's Day, your first of April, is going well. And be careful if you're out there pranking or if you're being pranked. Be very careful. Anyway, thanks for listening and watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.